It's like I don't care about nothing, man. Yeah. Oh,
Alright, so this video is about equilateral triangles. So triangles where all sides and all angles are equal. So yeah, make sure that you pay attention to this one. There is going to be multiple questions on equilateral triangles on the test. And I just brought little one in here just to try to get more views. Just stealing the views. Okay, so now we have equilateral triangles. So what it says, and triangle is equilateral if and only if it's equal angular. So that means that they have the same angles. So if you ever see equal angular, that's what it means. Now, we are writing an if-then statement. It is saying if A is equal to B, which is equal to C, so they're saying all the angles are equal, then what I'm going to write is line segment AB is equal to line segment BC, which is equal to line segment AC. So all sides are equal if all the angles are equal is what we're saying. Now here we just have the converse statement. So a converse statement is the same thing, but we just flip them. So they said the sides are equal, then I'm going to say the angles are equal. So angle A is equal to angle B, which is equal to angle C. Now, to make sure you know, each angle inside of a triangle that's equilateral is going to equal 60 degrees. The reason for that is all three angles inside a triangle have to add up to 180. If they're all the same, if we do 180 divided by 3, that equals 60 degrees. So they each equal 60 degrees. Now, we get to look at number 1. So we're going to use what we just said. It says find each missing measure. So here, let's find angle C first. This angle 60, this angle 60. Since they all have to add up to 180, this angle would also be 60 degrees. So since all the angles are equal, that means all the sides are equal. So if this one side is 9 feet, the other two sides must be 9 feet as well. Voila. Okay, now we can look at number 2, which is right next to it. It says find each missing measure. So it tells us each side is congruent. We know that based on the fact that each side has one dash through it. Notice that they're asking about the angles. So if all sides are equal, so is every angle. So every angle should be 60 degrees because it's an equilateral triangle. So now we're looking at number 3. It says if triangle PQR is an equilateral triangle, solve for X and Y. So if it's equilateral, all sides must be congruent, all angles must be congruent. So we know that based on the fact it said it's an equilateral. So if I want to find the sides, what we can do is pick any two sides and set them equal. It does not matter which two sides you choose because all the sides are equal. So I'm going to choose 9y plus 1 and 11y minus 23. So I am going to set these two equations equal since all sides are equal. So what I'm going to do first, I'll go ahead and subtract 11y from both sides. That'll cancel it out over here. So 9 minus 11 gives me negative 2y plus 1 equals negative 23. I am now going to subtract 1 from both sides. That'll cancel it out. Over on the left side, I have negative 2y equals negative 24. Divide by negative 2, and y equals positive 12. So we were able to solve for y knowing that the sides have to be equal. Now if I go to solve for x, notice that there was an arrow pointing to this angle. So all angles in an equilateral are going to be 60 degrees. So if that's the case, this equation, 7x minus 3, has to equal 60 degrees. So now I'm going to add 3 to both sides. You're going to get 7x equals 63. And now you divide by 7. X equals 9. So we found our y value to be 12, our x value to be 9. Whoops. So when we do this one here, it says if triangle PQR is an equilateral triangle, PQ is 18x plus 1, QR is 24x minus 17, PR is 15x plus 10. Find x and the measure of each side. So for this one, since you have a word problem, just like our student in the last video had said, I think we need to draw it out. So we are going to be drawing an equilateral triangle. So I know if it's equilateral, all sides are congruent, all angles are congruent. So now I also want to label the vertices. We have PQR. So P, Q, R. So now we want to label all the sides. So I know PQ is 18x plus 1. They told me QR is 24x minus 17. And PR is 15x plus 10. So just like the problem we did before, we can choose any two sides when we do this, because no matter which sides we choose to set equal, they will equal the same thing. So I'm going to choose 18x plus 1, and the other one is I'm going to choose 15x plus 10. So I'm going to subtract 15x from both sides. This will give me 3x plus 1 equals 10. Now I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. This will get me 3x equals 9. Divide by 3. And x equals 3. So my x value is 3. So what am I going to do? I'm going to sub this in. So now, does not matter which one you plug it into. Just remember that since it's equilateral, if I plug it into one of them and get a side length, we actually found the side length for all of them because all sides are equal. So I am going to do 15 times 3 plus 10. This will get me 45 plus 10, which equals 55. So all sides are going to be 55 because they are equilateral, so they are all the same. So right here is Mimsy. She's the OG. She was wanting me to tell you that that's the end of this video, and that by the end of this video you should now know how to set up a equation if you know it's equilateral for the sides. So pick any two sides, set them equal, and you should also, what'd you say? What'd you say? Oh, she also says you should know that every single angle in an equilateral triangle should equal 60 degrees. That was a good point. Good job, Mimsy. So you have a good rest of the day.